All right, the big day. It's ready to start. We got the bass tune loaded in here. So everything should be good. Coolant's good. We got the filter on. Oil's good. So let's go and try it out. Oh, yeah. Got the laptop here. We're good. Reading 11.4. It's a little rich, but that's okay. Cold start sequence is usually pretty rich. All right, now that the car is running and idling, I went ahead and put the air filter on, and then I'm gonna put some heat tape over here on the hood, just above the exhaust right here, so that way I don't damage my carbon fiber hood. So I'm gonna do that after I have finished with the exhaust. I'm gonna put this mid pipe back up and connect it up, and then we should be good.
After reinstalling the exhaust, I also reinstalled the underbody skid plate and trim pieces. I cut out a section of the plastic piece in front of the skid plate to allow the dump tube to pass through without melting anything. So you'll see here I also have heat wrap over the dump tube, so that should help as well. The next day we started street tuning, and although I didn't record much of that, here are a couple short clips. Everything was going well until this happened. So, check engine light codes showed misfires. It would happen if I went to red line between shifts, but if I short shifted, it was fine. I'm shifting at around like 6,500 RPM instead of E200. So I sent the logs over to HT to further review, and then something else happened on the way back home, of course.
So, back in the garage. We already broke something, a couple things. The car, I was in the middle of tuning with HT Performance, and then all of a sudden there was a really loud clacking noise, and then this happened. So basically the fan blade snapped off into the radiator right here. That's better. So right here you can see a little damage right here from the blades. They somehow got pushed into the radiator. I'm thinking this water pipe right here was the culprit because it was kissing the fan all of a sudden. So somehow, like during driving, this assembly over here corrected itself and pushed itself forward, I think. Now it's fine, it's not moving, but it pushed itself into that, and then that fan just went into the radiator, and then I think the fin like went so deep that it got caught and then just snapped off, and then the whole car was shaking because this fan was out of balance. And so anyway, so that sucks. And then I think it also looks like the radiator might be leaking right here now, so that's also super fun since this is a brand new radiator, and that's definitely not going to be covered under warranty. So it is what it is. At least it's not the engine. I think, you know, it really sucks. This is the first day that we were out driving the car, but then, you know, I had the brake. So we have a couple things I'm just trying to tidy up here. I still need to go to a junkyard to get a sensor for this coolant tank, and then I'll wire it up. It's not a big deal right now. Coolant is still in here. It was doing well. It didn't overheat once. It's just the coolant light is on. And then I'm putting on the bracket for this dipstick right now. The intercooler actually comes with all the intercoolers come with these brackets, so they're just for universal fitment, but since we have custom brackets made for the M3 already, I didn't need these. But then I found that this was fitting really well over here, so I'm just gonna use the factory grommet bolt thing from the intake manifold, and then I'm gonna connect it, do that, and then that's about it. But last night we put some heat wrap right here on the hood so that the heat reflected to the hood doesn't damage the hood. I'm hoping that'll be enough. But besides that, yeah, there's not much else to do. Just I bought a new fan. I think that leak is so small it'll be okay for now until I can find out what the issue is truly before I go replace a radiator and it gets blown up again. So just gonna replace the fan. That was like 80 bucks. Sucks, but whatever. Put the fan in, see if it does anything weird again. I think it might have just been that pipe. I pushed that pipe in further, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue anymore. Looked like it was clearing last time I put that fan in. Yeah, so should be good now. This bracket came out really nice. I didn't show this, but we welded that and then painted it. Just put it right here on this nut, and now it's sitting pretty tight on here. So that did a good job. And the hose will, or the hood will clear. it just presses down on this, but it's fine because it's flexible, so it just flexes like that. Yeah, so I'll keep working on this little bracket here and then see you later. What's going on, guys? I was able to replace that fan, right, and get it working, and then we went out to start street tuning the car and got it to be able to drive and go through its paces just fine. And then I think further down, like later that day, I ended up getting some misfires, and looking into it I found that one of the actually two of the coils were bad, and then I realized I replaced everything but the coils. And so I talked to my tuner and decided to just replace all of them, since they're the original ones and the car has 140,000 miles or so. So we replaced those today. I just got these new Dynan coils. Let's do, it's out there, the D650 0004. Same ones used for the N54 and N55. So these are supposedly supposed to get you 10% more ignition, but I think the factory coils are just fine to run. I just decided, since they seem to be running better and it'd be better for forced induction, why not just get new ones? So here is the coil here. I got the blue ones just because, you know, the blue car. Let's pull it out actually. Here we are. Actually pretty cool design. You can see the little Dyno logo here, but the blue is why I wanted to get it. It's kind of fish. I mean, it's blue, so it'll add a little bit of flare in the engine bay. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace these, and then I don't think you need to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just in case. I'm gonna go and clear my adaptations in the DME, and then let's find out if that fixes the issue. All right, all done. Got the new coils in. Put the cowl back on, but looking pretty cool in here. Now I just need to get rid of this red thing. That big red thing right there. All right, we're ready to start. Oh shit. I still need to go find a coolant low level sensor for the tank. I just need to go to the junkyard and find one. And then I didn't fill my windshield washer fluid, so that's on too. Besides that, no other lights. Besides, you know, seatbelt and e-brake because it's on. But yeah, no check engine light, nothing. I did have a couple error codes pop up when the car was misfiring, but it seems to be handling it pretty well. So we've got, there we go. I'm going to start pulling this up here, and then should be good to go on a drive here after it's done warming up. Is idling 13-ish, I think, because it's still kind of doing its cold start sequence. But we're looking good. misfires. Misfiring again. So the car is misfiring again. I don't know why, because now we have new plugs. I just checked the coil. Well, we have new coils. I just checked the plugs too. So I'm gonna have to send this log to HT and see what they say about it. Get the red line, there's something that's going on with the tune, so maybe I should send it back since the coils are brand new and they're supposed to fire better. It's probably causing some issues now that it's giving too much spark up top, and so if I half throttle it and I short shift at like 6,500, it works just fine. I can get up to like 9 pounds and it works.
Okay. So after sending multiple logs with HTE, we found that the car was boost creeping. Boost creep is when the boost pressure creeps past the target that it's supposed to hit at redline. In my case, I have a 7 psi spring in the wastegate, meaning I should not be going over 7 psi at redline, but my car creeps from about 7 psi to about 7.5 psi near redline. As normally the closer you get to redline, because the wastegate isn't able to get rid of excess exhaust gases efficiently, even though it's fully open. I realized that since I use the bigger turbo than the one supplied by cxracing, their single 45mm wastegate simply isn't capable of dealing with the bigger turbo, at least not in the way that it's welded onto the manifold. That's also an important fact. The wastegate needs to be mounted at a 45-degree angle to the collector at the top, and this manifold has it at a 90-degree angle, causing some issues with flow. Unfortunately, this means I have to either modify the exhaust manifold to accept a larger gate, or weld in a second port to run dual wastegates, but the latter may prove difficult on this manifold as everything is tight as it is. Either way, this means I have to tear the car apart again and lift the engine, and I definitely dread that. As a temporary alternative, I plan to run a water methanol kit to help supply more fuel up top so it can behave properly until we can get that sorted out. We're now on the way to the Dyno D-Spec garage here in Utah, one of the few places that let me rent the Dyno for remote tuning. They were extremely helpful through the whole process, and I've worked with Brandon Wicknick here a few times over the years, so I definitely recommend their services if you're here in Utah. With the car and the Dyno, the team was making some final checks and showed me how to operate it, and then when we got connected with HTE, I let him cook his magic. After a few back-to-back polls and data logs reviewed by HCE, he was able to put together the safest tune on 91 with my current boost creep issues. The result is about 450 wheel horsepower and 360 foot-pounds of torque at about 9.5 psi near redline. A lot of timing is pulled up top, and it runs a little richer on purpose for safety. Although this is how the car runs today and it's been driving completely fine since, I don't feel comfortable not having more fueling or having another way of raising the octane levels in the fuel to add actual safety. So this year I've got some goodies coming to help with that. It will either be methanol injection or E85 or a combination of both, since E85 is still not readily available here in Utah, but I heard that will be changing soon, so let's hope for the best. Until then, I'll be enjoying the car and avoid doing full watt pulls with it until we have more safety measures put in place, or if I manage to fix the boost creep issue. There are a few other things I'd like to tackle this year as well, with the stage 2 clutch I have in the car starting to slip, and since I'll be upping the power eventually when I go to E85, I'll need to invest in a twin disc clutch, because that's kind of the best of both worlds for comfort and power capacity. But I also want to add a secondary fan right behind the intercooler, since I had to remove the factory auxiliary fan to fit that in there. And since it gets pretty hot here in the summer, and I'm guessing the car might get hot, especially with AC, I want to make sure I take care of that. If you haven't already seen the video of the car on my buddy Colton's channel, go ahead and check that out. I'm going to drop a link in the description. We went through some canyons and some pretty cool shots of his new C8 Corvette and the M3 together, and that was pretty dope. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to try and get some cool content out this year and go out to some car meets and cruises and maybe some racing out in Mexico. Who knows? Hey, drop a like and subscribe if you really like these, and catch you guys later.